Why do you want to talk to me? My name's Skelton. I am a director at the Tibetan Buddhist Society. I lived here at the Tibetan Buddhist Society for about 10 years, from when I was 25 to 35. I learnt a lot about meditation in the time that I lived here, and I learnt to teach meditation as well. So that's one of the things that I really love in my life, and it's one of the things that I've kept doing and have an absolute deep passion for doing, is practicing my own meditation and also teaching other people to meditate. I was pretty shy for the first easily 6 or 7 years of my life. I didn't actually speak a great deal, I don't think. I then made up for that when I was a teenager. I was probably what you call pretty naughty and pretty adventurous. I left home when I was about 14. So I lived a lot of my teenage years out of home and still managed to finish school, which was not a small task. I was very lucky in that there was a lot of support around, and there were a lot of people who didn't want to see me fail. And I don't think I really wanted to see me fail. I've always been a bit of a against all the odds, always survive kind of kid, person, adult. It's a theme. Her name's Tony, and we are still best friends. But she was fantastic, and her mum was fantastic, because a lot of parents were pretty wary about their kids coming to my place, obviously, because I was living on my own and we were teenagers, so you'd think we could get up to heaps of trouble. But her mum would let her come to my place. So her mum was really great to me and very kind, and we just formed a really solid friendship at 15. I think we know each other really well, and so our conversations are really, they're quite deep and they're quite intense. I think we both have that with each other, and it's just a really special thing to have someone in your life who knows you really well and really cares about you too. I have lots of favourite memories. I think life is just all about memories and favourite memories, and I really hope that everybody gets a favourite memory at least once a week or something. I hadn't been to university after school. I did try and couldn't stick at it, so I deferred and then didn't go back. So I always felt that I really wanted to have finished something at university, and I went back in 2012 and did a master's degree while I was still working, and that was just a huge achievement, really. I was really, really pleased to have done it. I already was working and was happy with the job that I had, so it wasn't so much about being able to rapidly advance further. It was just more about confidence and knowing that I'd done it. That was really special, and knowing that I could do it. My mum, essentially, I think has influenced me the most for the most consistently long period of time. Like, she's an incredibly kind, well-meaning, compassionate person. We spent a lot of time together when we were here.
We did.
We did. So we were neighbours, we had rooms neighbouring each other.
Yeah, and I used to say it won't always be like this, in case Rebecca thought she was going to be here forever, living with her mother. But in your heart, your children always have a place as your children.
A person who's been incredibly constant in my life and really demonstrates really trying to help people continuously. It's her. I've been pretty afraid of taking a wrong path, you know, and that's an interesting thing to be afraid of, because I don't think a wrong turn exists. It's all about the way you relate to yourself. And so if you're kind to yourself and if you become your own best friend, then you're less likely to take the true wrong turn, you know, and there probably are true wrong turns, you know. There's the really self-destructive pathways that people can and do end up on, but so much of that comes about from not caring about yourself enough, I think, to look after yourself and to make good decisions. I see my future as something that is not predictable necessarily, but that no matter what I do, I really just want to be useful. I want that wherever I go, people experience goodness and good things, because I think that's what people really need. I just ban plastic, and I ban single-use plastic. I think there are just just shocking photos of the ocean, and I saw a photo the other day of a whale that had died, I'm not sure where it was, somewhere in the world, and its mouth was open and there was just plastic coming out of its mouth. And I just find those stories so shocking about the giant floating plastic islands that are formed from the way we're disposing of rubbish. And then I really would do something pretty serious about that if I could. Everything depends on your mind. So the better you know your mind and yourself, the easier it is to manage life. Your mind is everything. How you feel is what you project onto all of your conversations and your work or your study or your relationships, like everything. And so actually understanding yourself is one of the hardest things to do. Sometimes, depending on the sort of person you are, you might put up with a whole lot of stuff that you maybe don't really want to. Or you might carry a lot of anger and not know that you do. So I really do believe that getting to the heart of all of that stuff through your life, like really trying to understand who you are and what you want out of life, I just think that's possibly something that would be really useful.
Good questions, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good questions, great questions. I like silence more than music, to be honest.